it's the Generate Sheep here with another 10-minute review video. This time we're playing Caitlyn again with an Leona support against Vayne and Lulu. Now, the interesting thing here is we're playing a kill lane, so our goal is rather simple, but Vayne and Lulu, it's a bit of a more complex lane where it can go two ways. They could either try to actually take long fights against us, and if Vayne doesn't get bursted, she pretty much kills me anyway. And from level 6 that becomes even harder because I don't have an ult, so she can kill me very easily. Or what they can do is just try to passively farm it out until they get out of laning phase, and once they get out of laning phase, they're going to be strong anyway. So we should be trying to pressure them as much as we can to prevent especially the second thing from going through. And we can do it in a few ways because we have a strong all-in potential. We have some moderate sustain. We have some rage advantage, so we can do some auto spacing on Vayne to pressure her. And the most important thing here is we're running exhaust while she's not. I think Lulu has exhaust, but it's going to be kind of easy for me to still exhaust the Vayne when she jumps on me, so I can stop down some commits. So what is our game plan going to be like? Now, the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to keep the parallel line as well as trying to work around the parallel lining as well as we can, so we can hurt whoever of them comes close. A good thing would be, because they don't really have any, they have some shielding, but they don't have innate sustain, so if we fight during shield downtime, actually the damage will stick. So we're going to trade some HP to enhance the Leona all-in. Once, if Leona jumps on a target at 75% HP, there's a way larger chance that we're actually going to kill them compared to if we would jump on a full HP target. And then, anytime that we're fighting, anytime we're all-inning, as long as I use my exhaust to shut down any commit by Vayne, it's basically because Lulu only steroids Vayne, I can get a lot of damage out of her kit. And then once the lane is won, once one lane is won, with one kill on, we pretty much have lane control, so we can start freezing the Vayne out and working through that. So let's see how that goes, and let's jump straight into the game. First off is some really awful parallel lining by me. Like I said, I had to respect this line, but for some reason, I managed to just get hit by everything, which loses me half HP in the early stages of the lane already. And it doesn't get any better because I keep I take another hit in the mouth, so I lose my pots in the first 30 seconds of the lane, which is not great. So the next thing that happens is we're going to be setting up, and Leona, I think, is going to find the Lulu, and a first all-in is going to start. But since I'm solo, it actually threatens me. It makes it a lot more difficult to go on the Lulu because Vayne can go on me. As you can see, my spacing got a little bit better, and I missed my trap here, which makes it a lot harder to make this all-in happen. And in the end, it actually costs the life of the Leona for my bad trap, even though Vayne just jumps into it. But this is the first thing that happens, so basically supports just traded kills with each other. I tried to kill the Vayne with a flash net, but she survives at 10 HP. And with that on, we can move on to the next part of the lane. Actually, for a long time, nothing interesting in this lane happens. I'm actually even behind on the Vayne, I'm not doing very well, but at this point Lulu just becomes way too aggressive and forgets they were against Leona, and that just gets her clipped immediately. There's no chance they can do anything about this. And this is the first start where I get a kill, and now I can return. I don't even have a base sword, but I could return with a pickaxe or something, with something extra, and it's going to give me a really good lane advantage. So the next thing that happens is Leona goes very, very low, and we're going to get ganked by Volibear, but at the same time Kata roams on us. And this is going to turn out into a huge bloodbath, just because of how they play this fight. Vayne doesn't even join in because she feels like she's too low to fight. So Volibear is left alone, Katarina helps him. In the end we get a double kill for the Leona, and Vayne didn't get anything out of it. So this is already quite huge for us. Katarina decides to go a little bit far here, just to warm up, see what happens. We get her out anyway, but yeah, as you can see, this is a little bit awkward. But the Vayne is also too low to continue now, so this actually means that they are not able to do Drake, because we have more people here, in general. So what happens is, Vayne does get caught, Katarina cleans up both of them from the backside, and I still have my exhaust, but I know Leona is coming up, so I know I can just kill this Volibear here without using exhaust up until the last moment, and this is exactly what happens. So this is this game is fucking doomed for them. they tried to do 2 plays on us and they just got, they got fucked both ganks. So basically bot lane's over. And jungle's also really behind right now, but they'll be able to come back a bit. But now, yeah, now basically a lot of the laning phase is free for us. I will come back with a fucking Storm Razor, and this lane is fucking over. So, the next thing that we do, of course, when coming back, I think my team was pinging for Drake, so it will be a good idea to push this wave out. If Evelyn is not planning to go for wave, I can just freeze this. Since she is planning to actually goon the bot lane, as you can see, we are just freezing this lane. There's no way that Lulu and Vayne can actually walk up to this wave. For some reason they actually don't even for some reason they don't even walk up closely to it to catch XP. They're basically just zoned out of XP range, so we are very happy with this situation. And as you can see, we don't need to do anything. This lane is just playing himself. Now, this already probably also means that we can now get Drake soon. Now let's see what happens before we get it. As you can see, Eve just started the Drake. There's nothing else that we need to do. We just need to push this wave out and make sure they don't get to Drake, but they are making no intention to going for it, so we can just stay here and keep pressuring them anyway. And with that, this actually basically marks the 10-minute mark, and we're going to be able to now see which champs still have agency in this game and which don't. And from then on, we can formulate a game plan for the rest of the game. So this is the result of the game state after 10 minutes. First off, there is 2 players who have lost complete agency. Riven is 1k gold behind on Aatrox, which means that since they're both bruisers, Aatrox is probably going to be doing her job a lot, like the same job as her but better. So she's going to have a hard time actually controlling the outcome of the game as long as Aatrox just mirrors her. And at the same time, I'm almost 2k ahead on Vayne. Vayne is completely out of this fucking game. She has no way of coming back except with time and having a very good fight with Lulu just peeling her ass down. And it's going to be very hard because we run 2 assassins plus Leona, so she has no control over this game anymore. So it's basically up to us to fuck up this game because 2 of their players have lost agency and none of us have actually lost any agency, so we're basically playing a 5v3 right now. And the game plan should reflect this. First off, since we have crushed the side lanes, both top and bot lane, we should try to take at least one of those towers. While we can, it's also very hard to contest us, to stop us from doing so, just because we're so ahead anyway on these lanes. So, if Volibear tries to gank us and Eve is there, it's gonna just turn into a fucking bloodbath. And it's the same thing with top lane, if Volibear tries to gank for the Riven and Eve is there, it's also just a complete bloodbath. So once that happens, once we have that, we're going to be trying to actually contest the Rift Herald, or just take it for ourselves. It's not like they can do anything about it. And once we have that, we can make some high-paced play where we just try to break open a lane, try to take 2 turrets there. Normally, you probably take 1 turret off of Rift Herald, but when we're so ahead, there's a big chance that we can actually take 2. And once that happens, the only thing we need to do is just keep up the high pace. We're the ones that will get outscaled in the end. They are a late game team. We need to keep up the pace. We need to keep pressuring them everywhere we can, take every advantage that we can, and give them no rest and force them to actually contest us at different points. Because if they don't, we just take shit for free and we snowball harder. And if they try it, then they will probably lose the fight trying, and then we'll take it anyway. So we need to keep the pace up. We need to keep the pressure up and let them fight for those things and lose those fights. And this is the plan that we're going to be doing. Is basically win through the side lanes, then take Herald, and then break open the map, and then just take everything in their jungle. And from then on, it's actually quite an easy game to control. For example, dragons, or take more towers, or set up traps. It's actually quite an easy way to play this game out, and I think a lot of people know how to play a game out when it's basically 5v3. So that is exactly what actually happened. We just kept pressuring them until they surrendered. For those who actually want to know how it ended. But I will not go into further detail than that, because this is already a video that's getting too long. And with all that, if you liked the video, then please, like and subscribe, share the video if you can. Thank you and have a nice day.